Imagine walking into a classroom and seeing a room full of adults over 60, eager to learn but hesitant, unsure if they still have what it takes to keep up. Now imagine that same room a few weeks later, buzzing with energy, debates, and insights. That transformation is real, and it is proof that the brain never truly retires. In this episode of Learning Without Limits, we explore how lifelong learning can strengthen cognitive health, enhance professional engagement, and create meaningful purpose at any age. I want to start with a story. I once facilitated a course for older adults, and I made what I now consider a rookie mistake. I simplified the material. I thought I was being considerate. The readings were easier, the assignments lighter, the discussions less demanding. Almost immediately, attendance dropped. Energy faded. Curiosity waned. Frustration began to appear. Not in them, but in me. When I restored challenge, introduced real-world problem-solving, and encouraged debate, the room changed. Participants were fully engaged, conversations were lively, and the sense of accomplishment was palpable. They described feeling mentally alive again. That experience taught me a simple but profound lesson. Intellectual challenge fuels the aging mind. Respect and rigor are not optional. They are essential. Neuroscience confirms this. The brain remains adaptable throughout life. Neuroplasticity allows the mind to form new connections, improve memory, and refine executive function well into older adulthood. But the brain needs stimulation. Passive activities, simplified lessons, or overly comfortable environments are not enough. Structured learning that is challenging, socially engaging, and meaningful can actually strengthen cognitive function, slow decline, and improve overall well-being. Social interaction is equally important. Learning in isolation is weaker than learning in community. Discussion groups, peer mentoring, and intergenerational programs provide not just intellectual stimulation, but emotional and social reinforcement. When learners share ideas, teach each other, and collaborate on meaningful projects, cognitive networks are strengthened. And perhaps just as importantly, learners regain confidence, purpose, and identity. Practical strategies matter. Adult education programs should be designed with challenge and engagement at the core. Offer projects that require analysis, synthesis, and application. Use case studies, ethical dilemmas, and multi-step assignments. Introduce digital skills that are unfamiliar, which stimulate working memory and adaptive reasoning. Encourage learners to teach concepts back to peers. Teaching consolidates memory and reinforces purpose. And always measure outcomes beyond simple attendance. Track engagement, cognitive confidence, and social participation. Ethics and accessibility are critical. Programs must be inclusive, respect autonomy, and avoid fear-based messaging about cognitive decline. Lifelong learning is not a cure for dementia, but it is a protective strategy that fosters resilience, curiosity, and a renewed sense of identity. It is a tool that can transform how adults experience aging, empowering them to contribute meaningfully to their communities and professions. Now, I want to challenge you as an education professional. Are your programs truly stretching learners? Are you creating environments where cognitive engagement is prioritized over comfort? Are you offering opportunities for learners to teach, debate, and grapple with complex challenges? If not, consider how you can redesign programs to maximize growth at every stage of life. I would love to hear your thoughts. Have you observed changes in learners who are engaged in challenging adult education programs? What strategies have worked, and what obstacles have you faced? Leave a comment, share your experience, and pass this episode along to colleagues who influence curriculum, policy, or community programs. Join the conversation, and let us rethink what education can achieve for every stage of life. Remember, the brain never truly retires. Growth is lifelong. Challenge is the catalyst. Connection is the fuel. And purpose is the reward. Thank you for listening to this episode of Learning Without Limits. Subscribe, share, and continue this conversation because every learner at every age deserves the chance to thrive.